The winter of 1887 had settled hard over the Wyoming frontier when Clara Whitmore stood outside her father's dying ranch, watching snow creep across the broken fences. The Whitmore estate had once been proud, but now the barn sagged, the cattle were gone, and creditors waited eagerly for the property. Clara had expected a modest inheritance after her father's death. Instead, the town judge handed her a worn leather deed and explained that the ranch would serve as her dowry. There was one condition: she must marry within a year, or the property would return to the bank. Word traveled quickly through the nearby settlement. Men came to inspect the ranch, hoping Clara might possess some hidden fortune. They found only cracked soil, empty sheds, unpaid debts, and a house needing repairs. Each man left with the same disappointed expression, refusing to marry a woman burdened by such misery. Among those visitors was Eli Carter, a poor cowboy who owned little beyond an aging horse, a battered saddle, and the clothes on his back. Unlike the others, he did not laugh when he saw the ranch. He studied the land quietly, noticing details everyone else had ignored. Clara watched him from the porch as he walked toward the barn. "You're wasting your time," she called. Eli turned, removing his hat respectfully. "Maybe," he answered, "but I'd rather waste time looking than leave without understanding what happened here." His calm words surprised Clara more than any proposal could have. Inside the barn, Eli examined the beams, walls, and floorboards. One section near the northern wall looked newer than the rest. He crouched and pressed his fingers against the wood. Clara immediately noticed his expression change. "What is it?" she asked. Eli shook his head slowly. "I don't know yet." That evening, Clara prepared a simple supper of beans, bread, and weak coffee. Eli sat across from her without complaining. She told him about her father's final days, his strange insistence that she never sell the ranch, and his repeated warning that the Whitmore name still had unfinished business buried somewhere. Eli listened carefully. "Did he ever tell you where?" he asked. Clara reached into a wooden chest and produced an old brass key. "He gave me this the night before he died," she whispered. "He said I would understand when the right man came." Eli stared at the key, suddenly realizing its importance. The next morning, they returned to the barn before sunrise. Eli searched beneath the northern floorboards while Clara held the lantern. After several minutes, his knife struck something solid beneath the dirt. He cleared away the soil and discovered a narrow iron ring, almost completely hidden beneath years of dust. Clara's heart began racing. Eli pulled the ring, but the wooden floor refused to move. He tried again, using both hands. Finally, the boards groaned and lifted slightly, revealing a darkness beneath them. Cold air rose from below, carrying the faint smell of stone and something much older. Neither spoke for several seconds. Then Clara looked at Eli, fear and curiosity mixing in her eyes. "My father knew about this," she whispered. Eli nodded. "And whatever he hid down there may explain why every man who wanted this ranch was turned away." He raised the lantern toward the darkness. A narrow staircase disappeared beneath the barn, leading into the earth. Eli stepped forward, but Clara caught his sleeve. "Whatever is down there," she said softly, "I'm going with you." Eli looked at her determined face and smiled. Together they descended into the darkness, unaware that her worthless dowry concealed a fortune. The staircase ended beneath the barn, where rough stone walls formed a narrow chamber. Eli raised the lantern, revealing wooden crates covered in dust. Clara stepped closer, her breath trembling. None of the boxes carried names, but against the far wall stood an iron chest with the Whitmore family seal. Eli approached the chest carefully and examined its lock. Clara handed him the brass key her father had given her. It slipped into the lock perfectly. With a soft click, the heavy lid opened. Inside were stacks of gold coins, silver bars, and bundles of old documents tied with faded blue ribbon. Clara stared silently. "My father said we had nothing," she whispered. Eli picked up one document and carefully unfolded it. It was a land survey dated 1869. According to the papers, her father secretly owned thousands of acres surrounding the ranch, including valuable land near a growing railroad route. Another document revealed something even more shocking. The ranch had never been heavily mortgaged. The debts Clara had been told about were fraudulent claims created by Silas Boone, a wealthy businessman from town. He had been trying to purchase the property cheaply for years, knowing its true value. Clara's hands began shaking. "Then my father wasn't poor." Eli shook his head. "No, he was protecting you." Before they could examine more papers, footsteps echoed above them. Someone was walking across the barn floor. Eli immediately extinguished the lantern and motioned for Clara to remain silent. Through the darkness came Silas Boone's voice. "Miss Whitmore, I know you're here. Your father's ranch belongs to the bank now. You should accept my offer before winter finishes what your father started." Clara recognized his voice and realized the danger immediately. Eli whispered that they should remain hidden. Boone searched the barn but eventually left, believing the cellar had no entrance. Once silence returned, Eli relit the lantern. Clara looked at him with new determination. "He knows something," she said, "and he won't stop until this land is his." They carried several documents upstairs and locked the cellar entrance behind them. By morning, Eli rode toward the county courthouse with the strongest evidence. Clara stayed behind, repairing the broken window while waiting anxiously. For the first time in months, hope had entered the old ranch house. That afternoon, Eli returned with a county marshal and 2 witnesses. The fraudulent claims were exposed before Boone could act. The railroad company also confirmed that the land was worth a fortune because its planned route would pass nearby. Boone's scheme collapsed, leaving him humiliated and powerless. Clara could finally sell the property, but she refused. Instead, she used the hidden fortune to repair the fences, restore the fields, and purchase healthy cattle. The dying ranch slowly became prosperous again. Neighbors who once mocked the property now watched with admiration as life returned to the Whitmore land. Eli continued working beside her, refusing every offer of payment beyond what he needed. One evening, Clara found him repairing the old barn door. She smiled and said, "You came here because you were curious about a dying ranch." Eli looked at her and answered, "I stayed because I found something worth protecting." Months later, beneath a golden summer sunset, Clara stood beside the restored barn wearing a simple white dress. Eli approached her with nervous eyes and took her hand. "I never wanted your fortune," he said. "I wanted a home where someone believed I was enough." Clara smiled through tears and answered, "You were enough from the beginning." They married that autumn beneath the cottonwood trees. The ranch prospered for generations, but Clara always remembered the winter when everyone called her Dowry worthless. The gold beneath the barn had saved their future, but it was Eli's courage, honesty, and love that had truly uncovered the greatest treasure.